if you feel like you are constantly in launch mode, like right now you are doing one launch after the other, hustling every few weeks to create momentum again and again, this episode is for you, especially if not much is happening between your launches sales-wise. I'm sharing what's actually keeping your sales inconsistent and what to build instead if you want your business to make money even when you're not launching. Hi, if we have never met before, I'm Gwen, the strategy queen. I help coaches and experts build evergreen sales funnel, launches strategy, and advanced sales systems that brings in consistent income without having to sell 24/7 or be glued to your phone. And today we are talking about what to do if you are tired of launching all the time and want a business, by the way, that makes sales even when you are offline and in holidays, in between launches, delivering client work. Here's what I see all the time: women with incredible offers, proven result, and really strong launches doing. And what is happening for them, the moment the launch ends, the sales stop. And they may have a little bit of momentum after a launch, but then it's going to go down. And then they wonder, why am I not able to make sales with just my content? Or, okay, I need to create another micro offer for people to join my other offer. And it's always being in creation mode. And there might be a season in your business for this, but not all seasons are supposed to look like this. When comes the post-launch low, the pressure starts again. Okay, and the thought of, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or worse, like the feeling of like I'm so behind because it's been after the launch like 3 weeks and I haven't made any sales, or I made like 2 sales randomly that were not predictable, when actually what you want is predictability in your business. You want to know when you're going to make money, how you're going to make money, and you want to know that this is already going to happen. So you're not always like seeing the money leaving your bank account for the mentorship that you're paying every month for all of your bills and be like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pay those next bills? Because I don't have sales in between launches, so I need to have more offers that I'm going to launch again and again. You've built a business that depends on you being on, and that's not sustainable. And that's something that it is not sustainable, because eventually we get sick, eventually we want to go on holidays, eventually so many things. And I get it, like launching can feel exciting. I love a good launch. Yeah. But if you're relying on launches as your only, and that's the point, as your only sales driver, your business will always feel like an uphill climb. And you have to climb up and climb up and climb up again and again and again. And so the real fix isn't to stop launching. Okay. It's to stop relying only on launching to make sales. Because consistency doesn't come from doing more launches, okay? It comes from building a system that keeps selling between them. And when you build a backend that mirrors your live energy, your launches results are going to become a baseline. Okay, it's not going to become your peak when you're launching. You're not going to be like, oh my God, I have the best month in the quarter because I made a launch. No, this is going to be your baseline. Every month you're going to make the same money if you're launching or if you're not launching. And that's what creates consistency. There are a few points that I really want to share with you. There are 4 things that I feel are so helpful and for me completely changed the way that I built my business, but the way that I see like my clients, they really like took these 4 principles and adapted this in their business. Because also one thing that is important to understand is that none of my clients have the same business that I do. And I don't have the same business as my mentors. And I feel like it's important to also see your individuality in this, and how would you like to grow your own business? So those 4 principles are going to really be a game changer for you. So the first point is that you don't have a launch problem. Okay. You have a system gap. If you're in the situation that I described, you make money when you're launching, you don't make money when you're not launching. you have a system gap, and you can't sustain consistent sales if your backend isn't doing the work between launches, because someone has to do the work. And if you don't want to be working 50 hours a week or 40 hours a week or whatever, in your business and being always on, you need to put some system in place. If not, you have a big gap with this. The second point that I wanted to share with you is that your launch should feed your funnel. Okay, so when we launch, it's not like the end of the launch and then that's the end for the people. And what I see is that most people treat them separately. So they have their launches and maybe they have funnels and they have funnels separately. But a smart business makes every launch feed into its evergreen sales machine. So the people who didn't buy, yeah, no problem. They enter your funnel and they get nurtured in a way that still leads them to buy later. A point number 3, and I'm so passionate about this one, so you probably heard me talking about this in the past, is that your funnel should feel like your live energy. And the reason your launch converts and your backend doesn't as much is because your funnel sounds robotic. And when your funnel carries your energy, your tone, your biopsychology, everything that you have used during your launch, that's when it sells like you do live. And I feel a lot of people are like, okay, cool. So I'm going to take my launch stuff and put them in my funnel, and that doesn't work. Okay. There's a very specific way to make a funnel sell like your live spaces do. And the last point I wanted to share with you is that your sales system should work when you don't. Okay. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Like a real business has leverage. Okay. It can grow without you pushing all the time the business. And so the goal isn't to remove you from the business. The goal isn't to remove launches from the business. It's to make your presence when you don't want to be here, like for a day, for a week or something, optional, and still the business is making sales. Or if you don't want to launch for an entire quarter, that you don't have to launch. This is something that is so important. In my past business, like I had people joining my 6-month signature program every month without doing a launch. Yeah, and I was doing 2 launches per year, and in between, my Evergreen sales system was doing the job for me. And I was focusing on delivery and I'm focusing on different things in working in my business. And I used to think I had a launch problem too. I used to think when I wasn't making sales, okay, like I need to work on my content. So my content brings people into like wanting to buy from me. And that was not a good use of my content. And then I was just like, okay, maybe I need to launch more. And of course I could launch more, but that wasn't actually serving me in building a sustainable business. So every time I ended a launch, I go quiet. Okay. I go quiet because I was tired. And then I was freaking out when sales slow down, thinking like I just was not good at selling with my content until I build my Evergreen funnels. And so the first time I woke up to a sale without being on, like a sale that not even like, oh, it's a post that you did 2 days ago and the person saw it. No. Like the first time I received a sale and I was just like, who is this person? Where did they find this link? I can't even remember. And that's because I created my first funnel and I was just like, oh, it's from this. And then I optimized it. And then it started to make me so much money, because consistent income doesn't come from being more active, more on. Okay. It comes from being more strategic. If you are ready to create the kind of business that sells daily, whether you are launching, whether you are offline, not online, or you're on vacation, join the free 21-day funnel challenge. For 3 weeks, I will walk you through building the exact system that keeps your offer being sold between your launches. And this is not like a 3-day masterclass where you're going to hear me talk for 90 minutes every day. No, this is going to be daily prompts to help you see how you can adapt your funnel or like build from scratch. If you're building from scratch your first funnel, like really what are the things that you need to pay attention to and what you need to not do. Absolutely. And I'm going to share this with you in a very digestible way because I feel like a lot of women are overwhelmed with understanding funnels and understanding system, and that's because it just hasn't been explained very well. We start October 27. You walk away with a working funnel that feels like you and sells like you, even when you're not online. The link is in the show notes, so go and sign up now. Thank you also for listening to this training. Thank you for listening to this training on tired of launching all the time. Here's the real fix for consistent sales. If you liked today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future training like this one. And also go and give us a review so we can spread this work and more women online can make money, not just when they are launching, but also between launches. Bye, everyone.